Hey, group leaders, Happy New Year. Hope you're having a great start to the year. I'm excited as we look to launch another year of groups here at Lighthouse. And so I am just so excited to see what God's going to do. I just wanted to give us a real brief kind of refresher, a few reminders, a couple maybe updates on things as we are looking to do groups in 2023. You should remember that it was back at the beginning of the fall that we kind of launched a new way of doing groups where we took really what we used to do with groups and we kind of split it into two different types of groups. Those types being community groups and growth groups. Now, growth groups, they're really heavily focused on being kind of a semester-based format. It's kind of, think like a class where it's like we really want to specifically grow in this area of life. And so 8 to 12 weeks long, whether it's about marriage or parenting or grief or divorce care or finances, we kind of want to really let people hone in on growing in that specific area of their life for that semester. And it's really highly focused on the personal, spiritual kind of growth of the person rather than on building community. Because building community, we really want that to happen in community groups. That's their primary goal is let's get people together and let's let them centered around Jesus, centered around Scripture, centered around biblical community. Let's build it because community is not merely found. Community is built. And so that doesn't follow a semester system anymore. It's very open-ended. What we've asked is that you would make a commitment as a leader to say, hey, I'm willing to lead for anywhere between 4 and 9 months. So when you first sign up to lead a group, a community group, we ask you, how long are you committing to lead? And you can select anywhere between 4 and 9 months. And we just say, hey, now within that 4 to 9 months, you have freedom. Whether you're going to take a week off here, whether you're going to do something different there, you've got freedom because we found it takes at least 3 months to really start beginning to build a rhythm with a new group of people. And so we want to give you at least 4 months to really find that rhythm and enjoy it for a little bit. And then what happens is as you get near to the end of your commitment, we'll reach out to you and we'll say, hey, do you think you're going to continue? Do you want to recommit for another series of months? Or are you ready to maybe take a break? And so as we come up to each one of those commitment markers, we'll reach out to the people that have committed up to that point and say, hey, what do you think you're going to do next? We just ask that you would respond. That you would say, hey, I'm going to take a break, or no, I want to recommit for another 4 months, maybe another 6 months, whatever it might be, to continue to lead this group. And we really want to help you facilitate building that community and really owning that commitment. And so what we're asking is as that commitment comes up, as we, this past month, we've reached out to the people that committed to the first 4 months that we've done this. And we said, hey, you think you're going to lead again? And we've gotten some responses. We're still waiting on some, but we really need those responses from you. So that we can keep the groups directory nice and clean and clear, and we can point people to communities that are actually operating and are active. And if yours is not, we want to be able to remove that so we're not confusing people, or we're not confusing you and sending people to you that don't actually know where to go. And so if you would just keep that commitment updated, and if you're ever questioning, well, shoot, I don't really remember how long I committed for, you can always go onto your group page under settings, look in the tags section, and we've tagged what month and year you entered to commit to. So for those that committed to 4 months starting back in September, it would say January 2023, and so on and so forth, depending on when you committed. So you can always check your commitment, and then we would just ask you, go ahead and fill out the community group application. Again, there are options in there to just update your commitment, so you only have to fill out a few pieces of the form rather than the entire form. But please keep us updated. We want to give you freedom. We want to allow you to really have flexibility to move within your group and meet some days. And if you need to take a break, a short break for a week or two, or you want to relocate for a week or two, you have freedom to do that. Even during the holidays, maybe you take a series of weeks off and then you start back up. We want you to have all the freedom in the world to do that. But with giving that freedom, we ask that you would just give us some solid communication back and forth. We can keep those channels open so that we can make sure that people that are looking for community can find communities that are actually active and viable. And so if you would do that for us, I'd really appreciate it. That helps us keep things flowing. And then as you do that, if you are recommitting or even throughout whatever your commitment is, if you would just make sure to maintain your group page. make sure your events are up to date. If you're not meeting, remove the event or say, hey, we didn't meet. There are options to do that. Your member roster, if as you go through, you've really, there's been people that have kind of trailed off, reach out to them, ask if they're coming back. If they're not, just go ahead and clean that up just so you can keep your roster nice and clean. You can keep everything, your communications clean, and then make sure you're still taking attendance as you continue through. It may not seem like a big deal, but those attendance numbers really do help us be able to resource you well, be able to help support you well, and so we really do ask that you keep those numbers updated. And so with all that said, we just want to say we love you, we appreciate you. If you're currently leading, thank you so much. If you haven't decided to lead again yet, I'd really encourage you to prayerfully consider helping us build community here at Lighthouse. We want to support you, we want to love you, we want to give you everything you need to succeed as a community builder here at the church. And so we're so grateful for you. If you do have any questions, please feel free to reach out, groups@lighthouse.church. Thanks so much.